So this will be the content of my webinar today. As you can see on your screens, I'll be talking about the overview of Midas GTS, what all projects can you model in Midas GTS, and what is the application area of Midas GTS. Then we'll talk about the modeling features, the mesh generation features, the analysis features, and the post-processing features. And finally, we'll talk about some of the detailed application process in which Midas GTS can be used. Summing up, Midas GTS is the geotechnical and tunnel analysis software of Midas Information Technology. It's a one-stop solution for all geotechnical applications. It has a fully integrated solver and pre and post. That means you will model at the same interface and you can run the analysis at the same interface. You don't need to model the geometry at one place, do the meshing at different interface, and then export the mesh to the solver. You can do everything at the same platform, and you can do the 2D or 3D analysis in the same module. This is what GTS is composed of. It has got a geometry modeler, then you can mesh the geometry to create the meshing, and you can apply the loading and the boundary conditions, and then a finite element analysis software from TNO Diana will be used for performing the analysis, and then you can see the results in graphical and the tabular format. We'll be talking about the details of all these processes in the webinar. So let me start with the application areas. I'll be briefly discussing about in what projects you can apply Midas GTS. Midas GTS can be applied in tunnel analysis. You can apply Midas GTS for tunnel exit analysis, tunnel junction analysis. If the two tunnels are crossing, then you can also model those two tunnels. You can model the two arch tunnels, the cam tunnel and the tunnel with fault plane. You can also do advanced tunnel analysis, as in the tunnel stability analysis. You can model the subway tunnel crossing, and you can also model the underground passage stability. You can also perform the analysis for groundwater and seepage. Steady state and transient flow analysis can be performed. Saturated zones to unsaturated zones by Darcy's principle can be applied. And you can also perform effective stress analysis with stretch seepage coupling. You can also model and analyze embankment of soft soil and consolidation. And you can also provide temporary structures for doing the excavation, and you can determine the stress in the soil or the temporary structure for performing the excavation. Finally, you can also perform earthquake, blast and vibration analysis. You can perform eigenvalue analysis, response spectrum analysis and time history analysis. In Midas GTS, we have the built-in seismic wave database, and you can also auto-generate the seismic waves in Midas GTS. And you can combine the results of dynamic analysis with static analysis. Finally, you can also perform the slope stability analysis. You can perform the slope stability analysis in 2D and 3D both, and the method can either be shear strength reduction method or limit equilibrium method. So in Midas GTS, you can use either of the method for performing the slope stability analysis. Structural modeling and analysis in GTS is simple because of its exhaustive modeling features and enhanced post-analysis features. So let us talk about the geometric modeling features available in Midas GTS for easy modeling of the geometry. These are the different ways in which you can model a geometry in Midas GTS. You can model the curves, which can be either a tunnel section, a line, polyline, arc, circle, polygon, etc. You can also model a surface, which can be either a plane patch, a Coons patch, a NURBS patch or a grid patch. Then you can also model the solids in the form of box, wedges, cylinder, cone, sphere, torus, etc. And finally, you can also manipulate the modeling by several functions such as extrude, revolve, loft, sweep, etc. Let us discuss these four different features of modeling one by one. So as I said, you can model the curves, you can model the tunnel section, you can select the type of tunnel opening, and you can define the curve using 3-center approach or 3-center plus invert approach, etc. These are the different curve types you can model in Midas GTS. You can model the line, arc, circle, ellipse, polygon, etc. Once you model these lines, you can extrude them in any direction to form the surface or the solid. Here you can see how surface modeling is being done in Midas GTS. Here I have created some lines and I created a surface out of those lines. So what I did, I created these 4 lines and I selected these 4 lines to create a surface, and it can be created easily by doing this approach. But if you have a geomatics data, that is, you have got certain elevations of certain points, then you can put in those points and Midas GTS will automatically generate the surface profile for you. As you can see here I have provided the vertex cloud. So I went to the side, I did some geometrical survey and I obtained the coordinates of certain points, and then I can ask the program to create a surface for this vertex cloud. You can also create a Coons patch and a NURBS patch for arbitrary curves. Now talking about the solid meshing, you can model any solid you want in Midas GTS, and you can perform advanced operations such as trim and divide. Here you can see that for modeling the ground, I first modeled a cuboid, then I applied a surface inside the cuboid and I trimmed the cuboid with this surface so that I can obtain the topography of the area. Also, you can perform the Boolean operation. If there are two solids, you can fuse them together, or you can take the intersected part, or you can create a cut. So the Boolean operations as in fuse, cut and common are available, and you can use these operations while you are doing the geometric modeling. Talking about the advanced modeling for solids, as I said before, you can create a profile in the form of wire or edges, and you can extrude it to create a solid. Similarly, you can create a profile and revolve it to create a tunnel. There is a very special feature available in Midas GTS known as sweep feature. With the help of this feature, you can first define the opening of the tunnel or the profile of the tunnel opening. You can define the profile of the tunnel in the longitudinal direction, and then you can sweep the profile, that is a tunnel opening, along this curve. Now let me show you this with the help of a model. So this is the work window of Midas GTS. As you can see here, on the left hand side we have a works tree. The works tree will give you the definitions of what all has been done in the model so far. So here you can see that I have defined 33 curves in this model. I have defined 35 solids. If I want to see the mesh, then here you can see that I have 104 mesh sets. So the works tree is very important. If I want to make any changes in the modeling, I can quickly go through the different parts of the modeling and I can modify them accordingly. So here you can see that I turned off the mesh set and I turned off the solids. So I cannot see the mesh set or the solid here. Now I can open the mesh set one by one to review whether they are in place or not, and hence in this way I can assure that my modeling is correct. Now let me open a model so that I can show you the sweep command function. So here you can see that I have created a tunnel opening here and I'm creating a sweep curve. So I'll go to the geometric generator feature for sweep. I'll select the wire, and here I have selected the wire that will be swept, and I'll select the guide curve. Again, I'll select the wire, and once I click OK, as you can see here, the tunnel modeling has been done. So it's very simple. You just have to create the opening in the form of wire, then you can create a line along the length of the tunnel, and then you can just sweep that opening to create the solid of the tunnel. Also, you can apply certain other advanced modeling features such as trim surfaces. If I have created these true surfaces, then I can trim them so that a connection can be made. I can create some offset. As you can see here, I have one mesh set here or one modeled surface here. I can create another surface by applying an offset. The importance of this feature is that if you want to create a shotcrete lining on the tunnel, then you can use this feature. You don't have to model a shotcrete surface. You can just copy or offset the tunnel surface by certain value, and then you can mesh it by assigning it the shotcrete properties. Talking about the data exchange, in Midas GTS, we can import the geometry from STEP and IGES. And STEP, as you can see here, talking about the standards of data exchange, STEP is the standard for exchange of product model data. You can also import geometry from IGES, which is Initial Graphics Exchange Specification, and you can also export the geometry to STEP and STL. In Midas GTS, we have a special feature known as Terrain Geometry Maker. In Terrain Geometry Maker, you can first import the DXF file that you have generated out of some geomatic software, and then you can ask the program, that is Midas GTS, to create the surface profile for the same DXF file. In Midas GTS, we have implemented a tunnel modeling wizard. With the help of tunnel modeling wizard, you can model the tunnel quickly. In very simple steps, you can define what will be the construction schedule of the tunnel, and you can also define the different loads and geometry of the tunnel. Now let me take you to the program so that we can see the application of tunnel modeling wizard. The tunnel modeling wizard is available under the model option. Here you can see that we have a tunnel modeling wizard. I have to define the simple definition of geometry of the tunnel. I can define the dimensions of the tunnel opening, as you can see here. I can define the shotcrete and the rock bolts property. I can define the excavation schedule, as you can see here. So let me define quickly the excavation schedule. And once I define other data like the strata, as you can see here, you can define the strata also, and you can define the post data, what all do you want for the post data, and here Midas GTS will automatically model the tunnel for you. So here you can see that the tunnel geometry has been modeled, and you can see the definitions from the works tree. You can also see the construction stages here. Let me show you the different construction stages modeled by GTS. So here you can see how does the excavation of tunnel takes place. Once I change the stage, the excavation has been done. So the outcome of using the wizard is that you can not only model the solid geometry, but you can model the construction stages also. In Midas GTS, you can also perform the construction stage analysis, as I have just shown you that you can model the construction stages of the tunnel. But if you want to manually define the stages for excavation, or let's say construction staging of a pier, then you can define it automatically by using the construction stage wizard, or the manual definition of construction stage is also possible. The dialog box is very intuitive. As you can see here, the dialog box consists of the set data, which is the list of all the mesh sets, and you can drag and drop any mesh set to activate it in a construction stage, or if you want to deactivate it, then you can put the mesh set into the deactivated data field. So once you put any mesh set into the activated data field, it will get activated in that construction stage, and if you put a particular mesh set in a deactivated data command, then that mesh set will be deactivated from the construction stage. This is the element library of Midas GTS. Again, in the line type, you can either use the truss or the embedded truss. The difference between the truss and the embedded truss is very important when we are modeling the rock bolts. Generally, the rock bolts are inside the rocks and they are provided with a concrete lining, which makes the rock and the rock bolt a unit, and hence you can use the truss for that type. But sometimes the rock bolts goes from inside the soil and it is not connected to that soil, and here you can use the embedded truss feature. Talking about the material models, in Midas GTS we have provided 17 different material models, as you can see here. With the help of these models, you can not only model the linear properties of soil or ground, but you can also model the non-linear or elastoplastic behavior, as you can see here. So you can not only model concrete, but you can model soils, you can model interfaces, and you can also model the fault planes by modeling the interface between two different rocks. You can define the boundary conditions and the load. These are the various loads that you can define. You can define either the self-weight. So Midas GTS will automatically calculate the self-weight by considering the volume and the density. You can also define your own force or moment. You can define prescribed displacement. You can define pressure. You can define line or element beam load. Nodal loads, pre-stressing can be defined. Nodal mass can be defined. And you can also define the response spectrum analysis data, which includes various design spectrum data, and you can perform the time history analysis. You can define the time forcing function, ground acceleration, time varying static load, dynamic nodal load, and dynamic surface load, and time history result function can be defined. So in a way, you can define all the loads to your geometry, and once you mesh the structure, the loads will be automatically transferred to the mesh. So you don't need to define the loads again and again. You can simply define the loads on the geometry, which will be more realistic, and they will be automatically transferred to the meshed structure. Talking about the boundary conditions, you can define supports, nodal head, nodal flux can be defined, surface flux can be defined. You can define unsaturated property function, and you can also define water content function in Midas GTS. Now let's talk about the different options for mesh generation in Midas GTS. So as you can see here, in Midas GTS you can perform the auto meshing. So you can create a solid and Midas GTS will auto mesh the solid for you. You can also create map mesh, which is a structured mesh, and then you can do certain manipulations in the mesh structure. You can extrude it, revolve it, or you can project the mesh on a surface or on a line. You can sweep the mesh, and you can perform several other manipulations, such as connections can be modeled, you can divide the mesh, you can check the quality, etc. Now let us discuss the different mesh generation features in detail. So as you can see here, in Midas GTS we have provided different types of measures, such as loop measure, Delaunay measure, and the grid measure. And you can check, you can select the Meshing size, you can select the number of divisions on each element. You can define the size control, etc. This is an example of how meshing is done in Midas GTS. Here you can see that grid mesher has been used for meshing the stem. When you perform the automatic solid meshing, then there will be a smooth transition from inner surface to outer surface, because we know that the accumulation of stresses at the inner surface will be higher. So GTS will prepare nodes at smaller distances at the inner surface, and as it goes outside towards the smooth surface, then it will create the nodes at greater distances, so there will be a smooth transition from lower distance between the nodes to higher distance between the nodes. Talking about the mapped mesh or the structured mesh, GTS map mesh generates structured, which can be either regular or orthogonal, mesh in both surfaces and solids, and here is an example of how structured meshing is done in Midas GTS. In Midas GTS, you can also define the size control. So let's say I want higher meshing at a particular place in my model. So what I can do, I can define the size control at that location, and while performing the auto meshing, Midas GTS will automatically take into account the size that you have defined for meshing. Then you can play around with the mesh by doing some manipulation in the mesh. You can either sweep the mesh to create a 3D mesh. You can extrude a 2D mesh into a 3D mesh, as you can see here. You can revolve the mesh to create a round structure. You can use the map protrusion features. You can project the map from 2D to 3D. As you can see here, I first created the surface, I meshed the surface, and then I extruded the surface to create the whole ground. You can also sweep the mesh along a guided curve. So what you can do, you can model the tunnel using this feature. You can first create a surface and mesh the tunnel opening, and then you can sweep it along the length of the tunnel to create meshing along the sweep or the guide curve. This is again an example of the mesh manipulation. As you can see here, I created a solid, then I auto meshed the solid, and I extracted a fine layer of surface from the meshing. The function of this is that you don't need to create a different mesh for the shotcrete. Once you create the mesh for the tunnel lining, then you can extract the outer core of tunnel and you can assign it the shotcrete properties, and in this way you can model the shotcrete easily. Finally, after the meshing is done, you can check and verify the meshing. As we know that the finite element analysis results are only trustable when the meshing is proper. If you do improper meshing, then the results cannot be trusted. In Midas GTS, automated checking of meshing can be done. Here you can see that we have an option for check and verify, which checks the free edges or free faces. You can also align the element coordinate system. And as far as the quality assurance is concerned, you can check the aspect ratio, the skew angle, etc. can be checked. This is how the graphical display of meshing will look like. We will discuss it more while we will check the results. Now let's talk about the analysis options available in Midas GTS. In Midas GTS, you can perform the static analysis, which can be either linear or non-linear elastic analysis. The program can automatically consider the non-linear properties of the structure or of the ground for performing the analysis. You can also perform elastoplastic analysis. You can perform stretch, seepage, coupled analysis. Construction stage analysis can be performed. Drain, undrained analysis can be performed, and consolidation analysis can also be performed. Talking about the seepage analysis, we can Either do the steady state or the transient analysis can be performed. We can perform the dynamic analysis such as eigenvalue, time history, or the response spectrum analysis, and slope stability analysis for the method shear strength reduction, or stress analysis for limit equilibrium analysis can be performed. And finally, you can perform the nonlinear dynamic analysis. Now let's talk about the post-processing features available in Midas GTS for result extraction. In Midas GTS, apart from the tables which are Excel compatible, you can also obtain graphs so that you can visualize the stress distribution in the soil. You can get the contour plot. These are the various results that you can obtain. You can obtain displacement, you can obtain force in 1D elements such as beam, in 2D elements which can be in the form of surface, or you can obtain the stress in the 3D elements also. This is the list of all the stresses that you can obtain. The strain can also be obtained, and for the seepage analysis you can obtain the velocity, pressure, total head gradient, and the flow. So let me take you to the program and I'll show you the post-processing features in the program itself. So this is a tunnel model that you can see in front of your computers here, and I have already performed analysis on this model, so we will see the post-processing features directly from this model. So for seeing the post-processing features, I will go to the post command in the works tree, and here I can obtain the, let's say we want to see the displacement. This is the displacement in first stage, and I can see how does the displacement changes with time. I can see the construction stages and I can see the various displacements. So this is how the displacement will change with time. So as the tunnel is being excavated, you can see that the displacement increases and you can visualize the displacement accordingly. You can check on any mesh or you can check off any mesh according to your will. So let's say I just want to see the meshing and I don't want to see any of the geometry. So let's see the stages once again so that we can appreciate how the displacement changes with the excavation. So this is the first stage where the main tunnel is being excavated. And now the gallery which is on the side is being excavated. You can also probe results. So what you can do, you can go to the results and the probe result feature, and you can select any node and GTS will give you the deformation at that particular node. So as you can see here, the deformation will be provided. Let's say we want to see the stresses. We can see the stresses, 3D stresses can be obtained. So let's see the 3D stress in the XZ for the center, and again let's say I don't want to see the deformed shape, so I can just click on the undeformed, and let's say I want to obtain the stress at the interior point. So what I can do, I can go to the probe result feature and I can select the node where I want to obtain the stress, and once I click on the node, the stress will be obtained at that node, and Midas GTS will apply a sticker to that node so that we can see again what is the stress profile along the tunnel excavation. So here you can see what is the stress at different nodes. So in a way you can obtain any result that you want. Let's see the results for the rock bolts now. For that I will just activate the tunnel rock bolts. So this is the mesh set for tunnel rock bolts, and if I want to see the stresses in the rock bolts, then I can go to 1D element forces or 1D element strains, or 1D element stress can also be obtained. So let us see the bending moment or the force in the x direction for these rock bolts. So here you can see how does the force changes along with the excavation, and you can obtain the results in this manner. If you want to see the stresses in the shotcrete, then you can just activate the shotcrete mesh. So let me activate the shotcrete mesh now, and let us see the stresses in the shotcrete. So for that I will go to 2D element stresses, and this is how the stresses look like. So as the construction stage progresses, you can see how does the stress change with time. So this is how you can obtain the different stresses in Midas GTS. Now let me show you the different results along with the presentation now. You can see the deformed and the undeformed shape at the same time. You can generate isosurface plots. You can generate slice plots. Slice plots are important because if you want to see how does the stresses vary inside the section, inside the structure that you cannot see from outside, then you can select the slice planes. So let me show you how the slice plane works in the model itself. For that I will activate all the mesh sets, and I will see the 3D stresses. So this is how the 3D stresses look like. Let me deactivate the mesh, and let us see the slice plane and how does it work. So here I can move the direction of slice plane, and I can obtain the stresses at different location. So it's give me the ease of obtaining the stresses at any point. You can also create clipping planes, and it gives you the stresses at different locations. So as you can see here, I can see the stresses inside the tunnel as per my will at any location I want. You can also obtain clipping plots. As you can see here, partition plots can also be obtained. You can create partition between various mesh sets, and you can obtain the stresses for the same. Hybrid plots, which includes the hybrid of contours and the vectors, can also be obtained. You can also create animations in Midas GTS, and you can select the animation and you can save it as an AVI file. So you can create your reports. You can create reports in a better manner by including the animations also. Finally, you can create or obtain the Excel results. You can create several graphs. As you can see here, I have created the transient seepage graph, and the graphs can be automatically created in Excel because we obtain a table from Midas GTS which is Excel compatible. And in Midas GTS you can also obtain the graph as a 3D step graph where the result can be plotted against the stage and the location. So it gives a very good picture of how the stress changes with the stages and the location. You can also create the settlement profile. You can define the grid for settlement, and Midas GTS will give you the settlement profile at different distances from the node. On the curve diagrams, which is important for the design of the slabs, can also be obtained. And as I have already shown you the probe result feature, where you can select the location at which you want the result. And the flying view is also possible. So in the flying view, you can move virtually inside the structure, and you can select and you can see the stresses at various locations. The seepage flow path can also be modeled, and the results can be obtained. As you can see here, this is the flow path on a 2D dam model. And you can also control the legend, as what values do you want for the legend. Finally, let's talk about the different applications of Midas GTS and the projects in which Midas GTS can be used as a tool for performing analysis. As I've said before, you can model tunnel exits. Tunnel junction can also be modeled and analyzed in Midas GTS, and construction stage analysis can be performed. You can model the mountain tunnel. As you can see here, I have modeled the whole mountain, and I have modeled the tunnel inside the mountain. You can model the crossing tunnels through strata. You can model the slope with fault zone. You can model the tunnels with fault planes, and you can see how does the deformation changes with the introduction of the fault plane. Two arch tunnels can also be modeled. Foundations of abutments can also be modeled. As you can see here, I have modeled an abutment and the foundation here, and I can see how does the stress changes while the construction of the abutment takes place and after the construction of abutment has taken place. The CAM tunnel, which is the cellular arch method of tunneling, can also be modeled and analyzed in Midas GTS. The subway tunnel crossing can also be modeled. The railroad embankment can be modeled, and you can apply the railroad, and you can see the dynamic interaction between the embankment and the railroad by defining the dynamic nodal load in the time history analysis. You can also model temporary structures, because when you do the excavation, you apply some temporary retaining walls, and those walls can also be modeled in Midas GTS. So you get a fair enough idea of what all stresses will be generated in the surrounding retaining walls, so that you can choose appropriate retaining walls. And you can also model dams with the slice planes. As you can see here, the culvert can also be modeled and analysis can be performed. And sewer stability can also be modeled, and you can check the stability of the sewer in Midas GTS. The weir stability check can also be performed. As you can see here, this is a canal, and this is an expansion of the canal at this location, and I want to have a weir, so I can model the weir and I can check the stability of the weir. Also, for the contraction, I can model the weir and I can see the stress distribution in the weirs. Finally, the bridge piers and the sewage box can also be modeled. As you can see here, here is an array of bridge piers. Those are modeled in Midas GTS, and there is a tunnel which is going on from crossing the bridge piers, and you can see the distribution of stresses along the tunnel by or from the load of the bridge. Settlement behind excavation can also be obtained. The underground passage stability for the subways can also be modeled. As you can see here, there is an underground subway station which I have modeled here in GTS. Finally, you can check whether the tunnel is stable or not. You can check the deformations, or if the additional stresses are obtained in the tunnel, and you can check whether those stresses are critical or not. Here again is an example of tunnel stability, and here you can see the stresses for shotcrete lining in the tunnel. So that was all about the overview of Midas GTS. Now if you guys have any questions, you can ask me questions from the questions window.